Today we're going to talk about how to pick the right business partner when you get into business. My name is Michael Barayev. I was able to build a team of 150 plus sales guys, and believe me, okay, when it comes to building teams, you need partners, you need good partners, and we were able to do that, and now we have a growing solar company that's growing like crazy from coast to coast like butter on toast. So when it comes to picking the right business partner, okay, it's not as easy as it sounds because everybody wants to do business with you. Especially when you create success. When you start getting good at something, everybody wants to do business with you. And you have to get very good at selecting the right partners. Otherwise, it's going to hurt your morale, it's going to hurt your culture, it's going to hurt your business, it's going to hurt your financial life, it's going to hurt your spiritual life, your mental life, your emotional life. It literally can ultimately destroy you if you pick the wrong partner. So today we're going to talk about how to actually identify what is a good partner, what is a bad partner. How do you actually know that you found the right-hand man to do business with, or right-hand woman to do business with, okay? So, number one, before I do any kind of business with anybody, I want to know what is their story. Like, what brought them to my space? Like, what brought them here? What are they about? Who are they? What is there that I need to know about their existing life that can help me understand who they are as a person? Because remember, when you get into business with somebody, you're not just getting into business with a person that's skilled at something or experienced at something. You're getting into business with a human being, a person that has feelings, that has emotions, that has thoughts, that has a past, that has a present, that ultimately has a future, right? And you want to make sure that before you do any kind of business transactions with them, they align with what you believe in and who you are and what you're about. And a lot of people get so wrapped up into picking business partners based on experience or based on because they have a certain amount of money and you think, oh wow, this person's coming in with $500,000 into my business, he's an amazing partner. Or because they're already successful or because they're already rich, and you may think, wow, that's someone I want to do business with. But you got to be very careful that when it comes to identifying what's the right business partner, you know, anybody can find a business partner, but to find the right true right-hand man or right-hand woman to kind of partner with and grow with, that is a skill set on its own. So you got to be very good at understanding who is this person, what is their story, and understanding where they're coming from. Like what is it that's driving them to where they are today? What got them to this point in their life, right? And when you identify their story, it's much easier to understand what's important to them and what's their motive and who they are as a person. What are some ups they have? What are some downs they have? If I meet somebody and they have no downs in their life, like no struggles, no challenges, everything is just like, you know, coasting and perfect and toasty, that's not the kind of partner I want to do business with. Like, I actually enjoy doing business with someone where there's some failures, where there's some dumb decisions that they made, and they've obviously learned from them because it makes me understand and shows me that they have learned from their experience, they have gained some wisdom from some bad decisions, and now they're a better 2.0 version of themselves. So when it comes to picking the right partner, I look at someone that has a great story. I also look at someone that has previous experience in some industry or some expertise. Right? Experience is important. If somebody does not have any experience, but they come with a load of money, that's not the kind of business partner that I want. I want a business partner that's an active business partner, that's willing to go out there and grind and hustle. And by the way, he doesn't have an ego, or she doesn't have an ego. Why? Because it's very important. We're in a door-to-door space. Knocking on doors is what we do in our business. It's a big primary bringer of revenue to our company. If a person or a partner that joins business with me says, oh, I'm not that guy to knock on doors, that's not the guy I want to look to do business with. I'm not saying he has to go run and, and build a team and knock on doors or do whatever. All I'm saying is he willing to do so? Is the ego higher than him? Right? If the ego is so big, I don't want to deal with that kind of problem. I want someone that says, you know what? I don't mind going out there and hustling and grinding and pushing and shoving, no matter what it happens. Like, for example, if I open up a construction business, I don't mind getting on a roof. I don't mind getting in the kitchen. I don't mind getting into the bathroom because that's the business I started. I don't mind. I knocked on doors. I get my knuckles dirty. I don't care because I don't care what I have to do to get the result. I just want the result. As long as it's ethical, moral, I want that result. So when I have a business partner and he doesn't have a high ego, it's something that's perfect. I want someone that has a healthy ego that says, you know what? I don't care what needs to get done. I just want to get the job done. What do you need me to do, Mr. Michael, Mr. Partner? What can I add value in? If they have experience in something, I want them to add value in that experience, okay? Number 3, trust and integrity and transparency is important. Now, by the way, when you choose a partner in the beginning, you cannot figure that out in the first couple of days. It takes some time to figure that out, right? But I look for examples in transparency. I look for honesty. I look for openness, and I ask them questions. If they're not willing to open up in a relationship with me early on, then what makes me think they're going to be a good partner? Like, I want someone to be open with me. I'll be open with them. If somebody asks me, Michael, how much money you make or how much profit I'll show them. I show them everything because I don't mind that, because it doesn't bother me to show them, hey, I'm making X amount of money here because I'm adding value XYZ here, or I'm doing XYZ here, I need you to do XYZ there. And that's important when it comes to business ownership, when it comes to being in a relationship. It's about transparency, it's about openness, it's about integrity, it's about being open with each other, because remember, you're getting into a relationship. And I always tell my business partners that, hey, someday, somehow, there might be disagreement. How do you handle disagreements? I want to know, like, how do you handle arguments? How do you handle disagreements? Are you the kind of person that yells and screams? Are you the kind of person that walks away? Are you the kind of person that just ignores someone for a week? Like, how do you argue? How do you handle tough situations? Because I remember as an early entrepreneur, I got into a relationship with people in business, and they would walk away when things happen, not the right way. Like, we would have a downward spiral in business, and they would walk away. And by the way, if you know me, that's not me. If there's a problem, I want to talk about it right there and then. I want to have a conversation. Let's fix it now before the problem gets bigger. But some people just want to walk away and just hide under a cave and let all their problems disappear that way. That's not how I do business, right? So you got to understand your partner's weaknesses and strengths and see, okay, how do they argue? What are their challenges? What are some things they go through like that? That's like, what are some ways that they handle stress? They handle negativity, right? They handle the arguments. It's very important for me. Next, I look at the vibes, right? I want to know the vibes. Feelings are everything to me. And my spider senses are always turned on. If I see, like, I'll give you an example. We have a new partner we just did business with, and there was something that he said that kind of like made me feel like, well, what do you mean by that, right? My spider senses kicked in. Thank God he addressed it, because I said, hey, I felt X, Y, and Z. It's like, you know what, you're right. This is what I'm going through, X, Y, Z. It's very important when you're with a business partner, especially when you're building that relationship. What are your vibes with them? What are your feelings with them? Like, how is that relationship starting off? Is it starting off with bad vibes? Like, if you got a bunch of bad vibes in the beginning and your spider senses and your gut says, don't do it, why are you getting into business with them? You gotta have vibes with them. The vibes have to match, because if not, I promise you, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road, you're gonna have an ugly, ugly, ugly feeling. This happened to me many times before. I felt not so 100% with one of the partners that came onto my team, and it didn't end up right. All because I didn't trust my gut. I didn't trust my instinct. By the way, the biggest person that I use to help me with identifying if they're going to be with me for a long time or not and do business with me and a good business partner is my fiance. She helps me out a lot. She actually tells me, that's a perfect partner for you. He's not going to last you for 2 months. And she's always right. It's crazy. I don't know how she knows this, but she just does. She meets the one time and says, okay, this one's going to be here for a long time with you. This one's not going to end up being a long time. I go, damn, how do you know? It's crazy, but I guess, women have this intuition that they know things, right? They see things that we don't see as men. But I also look at references, right? Not only do I trust, my fiance, I look at references. I say, hey, do you have any references that you have in the industry that you've done some great things? Anybody can do this. I remember I hired one of my partners a long time ago, and he pretty much said, oh, I had a call center, I did this, I did that. Lo and behold, he got involved with us. A couple of months later, I'm figuring out this guy doesn't know how to sell. This guy sucks. Like, what the hell? You told me you had a sales team, you told me you had a call center, you told me you know how to sell. He didn't sell for shit. And it made my morale in one of my offices go down, because I promoted him too early, and my guys who were working there for a long time didn't get promoted. And it was like, yo, why'd you promote this guy? He doesn't even know how to sell. I'm better than this guy. And you gave him a better opportunity than you did for me. So it bit me in the butt. So I learned a long time ago, I want to have some references. What did you do in the marketplace? Show me your results. Show me your bank account. Show me this. If somebody cannot show me their bank account or cannot tell me how much money they have, I don't want to do business with them. Why should I? You're not being honest with me with where you're at. We're trying to do business together, right? So it's very important to understand that. Next, I also have a probation period, right? What I would recommend is doing a probation period with someone for 30, 60, 90 days. Say, listen, we'll get into business. We have a 30, 60, 90 day probation or longer, whatever it is for you, right? Say, okay, we're going to execute X, Y, and Z and see how everything goes out. If it doesn't work out, just like with dating, right? You don't date and get married the next week. You date a couple of dates, couple of months, couple of years. You figure it out. Like, is this the kind of person I want to spend the rest of my life with? That's what dating is. So in business, a lot of people just want to get married right away. They want to sign documents and get married the first day they meet. Listen, hold your horses. Go on a probationary period. Put a temporary contract in place. Say, hey, listen, X, Y, and Z in place. I'll give you a year contract. We'll see how it goes for a year. If after the year we love each other, great. We keep continuing the job. If not, deuces. Every contract I do so has a timeline attached to it. Because I don't want to be in a position where I'm like, I'm in a bad relationship now and I can't get out of it. It's not good. It's not healthy. It makes a lot of problems because now you got to get legal involved and lawyers and all kinds of nonsense, right? So it's better to be prepared on the front end than to prepare on the back end, right? Prepare in the beginning. Like, I recommend every single person that gets married to get a prenup. I know you love her, I know she loves you, but get a prenup. Write down what's going to happen. Write down what's not going to happen. Put down the yeses, put down the nos. If I get divorced, you get this amount. Like, put it all on paper, because remember, I know you're in love right now. I know everything is amazing. The freaking rainbows are there. The goats are flying. Everything's perfect. But you don't know what's going to happen 2 years from now. You don't know what's going to happen 2 months from now, 2 decades from now. You don't know what's going to happen. Just prepare for the worst. It doesn't mean that you get divorced. But this just says a contingency plan. Have an exit plan, which is the next thing, right? Have an exit plan. What's the plan if something goes wrong? What's going to happen if we're not going to do business together? How much percentage do you get? What happens with the people that are working with us? What happens with the product? What happens with the service? What happens with our existing relationships? What happens with my non-compete? What happens with all of that? You need to discuss that, right? Because if you do not discuss it, war will be prevalent in your business, and you don't want war. You don't want war when your business is doing great. Because just because the business may be doing great and your relationship may get sour, you guys may want to separate, it'll affect the business, it'll affect your cash flow, it'll affect everybody in the company. So you want to get these things down packed in the beginning stages and know what the exit plan is. It's very, 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 very important. Okay? Next, do you have the same visions? A lot of times people get involved with other partners and the visions are completely different. One wants to live in an igloo in freaking Antarctica, and the other person wants to live near the equator. 2 different visions. 2 different dynamics, 2 different everything. Is there anything wrong with having different interests and goals? No. But the vision for the company, the vision for that partnership should be the same, should be in alignment. If mommy and daddy are not in alignment at home, what do you think happens to the kids? Kids get confused and say, you know what, screw mom, screw dad, I'm not following both of them. And the streets end up taking them, right? So it's very important to have the alignment with you and your business partners together on the same page, which is why having weekly meetings, monthly meetings, quarterly meetings are very important. I know that you opened up an LLC, you're a corporation or whatever, but there's things called annual meetings. There's minutes for a reason to keep you and the business partners on the same page, to talk about things that are important, to talk about things that you may not want to talk about, but you have to because it's the betterment for the business, right? It makes the business grow. So it's very important to have those visions in place and understand what is important for each individual partner, right? And the next thing I would say, the last would say, is have the same or similar philosophy in life, in business. I'll give you an example. I can never do business with a communist. I just can't, because I'm a capitalist. I'm pro-business. I'm pro for you have to earn your shit. A communist may say, oh, everyone earns the same thing, let's make everyone equal. Even the top producer gets everything the same like the bottom producer. And that philosophy can make a lot of problems in business. I'm not saying you need to have the same religion or same backgrounds and business or experience. I'm not saying that. Or the same political views. But it's very important to understand the philosophies and the mindsets and the values and the principles have to be in some kind of congruency. Because if there's no congruency in those values and principles and the belief systems, I promise you, you're going to have a lot of debates, a lot of arguments, a lot of heated discussions for no apparent reason. And now you have war in your business, and now your business and your customers and your employees suffer, all because you two or you three or you whoever, partners, cannot get it together. So do yourself a favor before you get into business with someone, evaluate them, evaluate the procedures, evaluate the processes, evaluate the exit plans, evaluate all the things we talked about, and I promise you, if you do so, partnership can be one of the best and amazing things on the planet. Partnership does not have to end in battle and squirrels and all kinds of nonsense. They can be the most amazing, amazing, amazing thing you could ever imagine, but you gotta do it the right way, and you gotta do your due diligence and be patient and figure out what's important for you and the partner, and then win from there. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Hopefully you learned a few things about partnership. If you want to be my partner one day, do me a favor, DM me, let's talk. I would love to do business with you. And you already know there's gonna be some qualifications to see if you can be a good business partner of mine, and if I can be a good business partner for you. But I love you guys. Share this video with someone that you care about. Share this video with someone that's actually going through a business right now, or starting a business, or is in a relationship or a partnership that needs to grow. And I'll appreciate you guys for subscribing on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.